to my channel, Chiku's Mess. Today I'm here with a new recipe, and this recipe is for chicken korma. So let me show you the ingredients. So my friends have been requesting me for a chicken korma recipe, and here I am. So for chicken korma, you would need 400 grams of chicken. Now I've cut them and washed them properly. You would need 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. I've taken half teaspoon of black pepper. Now you can add 1 teaspoon. It's really up to how much spicy you want it. And 1 teaspoon of garam masala and 1 teaspoon of salt. I've also taken 4 tablespoons of yogurt and 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. Now I've made this at home with some ginger, garlic and some green chilies, but you can buy freshly made ones in any store. So now we have covered the marination bit, but apart from that, you would need 2 onions and a handful of cashews, and these are some whole spices, 2 bay leaves, 4 cloves, 1 inch cinnamon, and 4 cardamom pods. So let's begin marinating. So first I'm going to add in my red chili powder and turmeric powder. And then I'm going to add in my cumin, coriander and black pepper. Now I'm going to add in my garam masala, some salt and some yogurt. So I have a spoon here, I'm going to scrape the yogurt. So yeah, scrape the yogurt, and then I'm going to add in our ginger garlic paste. Now I'm going to give it a good little mix. So I'm going to carefully mix it in until it's all nicely combined, and then you're going to marinate it for about 30 minutes. And then you can begin on cooking. So I'm nearly there. I'm just going to stir in my yogurt until it's nicely coated in the spices. And yeah. So my yogurt is now nicely coated in the spices, and we're done mixing. So now I'm going to set my spoon aside, and I'm going to cover my bowl with a lid, and I'm going to put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. While the chicken is marinating, I decided to fry the onions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the stove, and I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of oil. So that's enough, and then I'm going to spread it around the pan. Yes. Okay, so my pan is fully covered in oil, and now I'm going to let the oil heat up, and then I'm going to add in my onions. So you can test if the oil is hot by putting 1 small onion in the oil, and if it fizzes up, then it's hot enough. So it's fizzing up, so that means it's hot enough. And now I'm going to ask my mom to pour in the onions into the pan. Pour in the onions, and now I'm going to fry them. So what you want to do is you want to separate the onions because they're kind of plain, and you want to just stir them until they're reddish brown for about 15 to 20 minutes. The onions are a little bit brown now, but we're going to cook it for a further 5 more minutes because the onions are really light brownish and we need to make it reddish. So let's cook it for more 5 minutes. So my onions are totally red now, and now I'm going to ask my mum to pour it into a little plate. Mum, can you help me please? My mum poured this into a plate for me, and you need to make sure that this cools down completely, because we are going to make a paste out of this, and we need it to be cooled down, otherwise it will split up because it's hot. And the onions have completely cooled down, and now we are going to make a paste. So first I'm going to take a jar, and I'm going to pour in my onions. So I'm going to carefully just scrape it down in the middle, and put it in the jar. So yeah. Okay, all onions in. Now we're going to add in our next ingredient. We're going to add in our handful of cashews. And we are going to add in 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, there we go. now we are going to grind this. Okay, so now the paste is completely done and this is what the colour should look like. Now it must be a smooth paste, so you can add 1 to 2 tablespoons of more water if needed. So now we are going to be making our curry. Okay, so I have added a little bit more oil to my pan and I'm letting it heat up, so it's heated up already. And now I'm going to add in my whole spices. So let's begin. So first we're going to add in a little bit of bay leaves and then we'll just add them in. And we'll keep stirring them. We're going to let them like pop, I would say. So my whole spices have now been a little bit cooked. And now I'm going to add in my chicken. So now I've poured in my chicken and now we're going to just give it a little mix with coating all the spices in it. And we're going to just stir it and yeah, I'm going to cook it. As you can see, the chicken has released some water, so it will cook in its own water, so you don't need to add any excess water. I'm just going to give it a little small stir and let it cook. Okay guys, so the oil has started to separate from the gravy. Now we're going to add in 1 more teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now this dish is generally sweet, but if you don't prefer sweet dishes, then add in you just can skip the salt and sugar. Do not skip the salt, it will be a really, really weird dish then. Okay, so now we are going to add in our cashew paste. So I have my grind paste jar and I'm going to add in my paste. Okay, give it a little mix, yeah? Okay guys, so now I've added in my paste and I've mixed it in really well. And now this is kind of dry, so we're going to add in 1 cup of water to make it kind of grayish. So let's add it in. Give it a good mix. So after adding in your water, bring it to a nice boil for about 5 to 10 minutes and then your dish will be ready. Okay guys, so the chicken korma is now ready and we're going to just cool it down and then we're going to put it back in the vessel. So guys, my chicken korma is finally ready and I really hope you liked this video. If you do, smash that like button please. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Goodbye guys. Thank you for watching.